Now to global oil prices. They swung sharply today as investors reacted to growing concerns that the expanding conflict in the Middle East could disrupt energy supplies. Shipping traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, a critical route for global oil exports, has dropped to its lowest level in more than 2 months. Meanwhile, Iran-backed Houthi rebels are threatening to block Saudi ships using alternate routes through the Red Sea, forcing some vessels to turn back. And after briefly climbing above $100 a barrel earlier today, Brent crude settled around $97 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate, the U.S. benchmark, fell about 2% to roughly $90 a barrel.
You see the numbers there. Joining us, Ed Hers, UH Energy Fellow, KHOU 11 Energy Expert. Ed, you have said $6, I said that right? $6 a gallon, not out of the question. What has to happen for that to occur?
Well, right now, we've got 10 million barrels a day interrupted, roughly, coming out of the Strait in a 106 million barrel a day market. China has cut back its imports dramatically by 5 million barrels a day. The International Energy Agency, including the U.S., has released almost 300 million barrels so far, about 111 yet to go, according to their announcement.
So is there a tipping point?
There's about 40 days left here until that release is over. And if China wants to go back and start importing the 5 million barrels a day, which they can do, they're a wealthy nation, that will drive the price up tremendously. We will see oil in the $150 a barrel range if that happens.
So I know you said there's a 40-day marker here, but should we expect gradual increases to continue, or could we wake up one morning and see a sharp incline just because of what may take place in the Middle East?
We're already seeing some sharp moves. The Asian refineries are suddenly running out of oil. Cargoes are getting turned around. And remember, many of the Asian economies are not self-sufficient with oil. Certainly in the U.S. we're fine. But Exxon chartered a couple of tankers right away in the second week of the war to ship the oil overseas. Our SPR releases now,
what does that mean?
Strategic Petroleum Reserve, about 172 million barrels targeted for this period of time. We're about done with that. Anything further, we risk damaging the reservoirs themselves. They reside in salt caverns along the Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coast.
So for everyday folks out there, it sounds like you're saying roughly 40 days from now, if this hasn't been resolved,
we're going to see much higher prices. And again, the president today was saying, well, we're negotiating, but then he's also threatening greater
they're still
war.
Fighting.
And with the SPR releases, almost all of that has gone overseas. We don't need it here domestically. And we've sold off our commercial inventories because, it made the refiners money.
We're on the clock.
We're closer to $6 too than we think. I know I was talking to you. Other parts of the nation have already seen those prices.
California certainly has. California is no longer self-sufficient with its own oil production, with its own refineries. So they are directly competing against the motorist in Tokyo or the industry in Vietnam.
Wow.
Got it.
All right, Ed Hers, U of H Energy Fellow, KHOU 11 Energy Expert. Appreciate the insight and your time. Thank you.
Thank you.